Hello, everyone. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 60, Progress, Not Perfection. Like that. The reason I wrote that in there is to demonstrate the point, because actually, oftentimes when I type the word perfection, I screw up and I accidentally hit the M instead of the N. So progress, not perfection, perfection. Okay, so this is the secret to success for everybody. None of this mystical crap here, thank you very much. While you can dream about never having anything go wrong, that is not the actual scientific real world way. Most people, even people who believe that that's the case, actually become successful. What they suffer from is what we all suffer from, something called confirmation bias. We selectively remember that which proves we are correct in our beliefs. And then that gets into cognitive dissonance and so on, but we won't get into that today. I've covered that in other episodes. So here we go. Progress, not perfection. So the trick to actually doing this is very simple. Create inevitable progress. So how do you create inevitable progress? It's actually really simple. Through daily, or what I've started to call week daily action. So though you may believe in the secret, it's nonsense and I can prove it, but I can't convince you it's not true. And I can't disprove it. So instead of wasting time doing that, what I'm saying is take action on other things too. You should meditate daily. It's awesome. Everybody should. But in terms of succeeding at something challenging that you're trying to do, whether it's losing weight or improving your business, is to add something to your plate. Now, of course, anytime you add something to your plate, you might have to take something off, but you make a priority for one single challenging task, and you do it at least week daily. That is 5 days a week, if not 7 days a week, every single time for a specified period of time, what we call time boxing. Now, the specific amount of time, up to 90 minutes, is basically what science says. I do it slightly differently than that, but if you're going to use something like Pomodoro, which is also wrong, at least in the numbers, if you're going to do Pomodoro, it should be 90 minutes work with a 20-minute rest, and it should be based on when you wake up. From when you wake up until 90 minutes later would be the start of your first productive work Pomodoro. Then 20 minutes of a down cycling, which is a natural part of your ultradian rhythm, and then 90, 20, 90, 20, and it goes all day, and it's based on your biology, not when you think it should be or when you set it up. Okay, so create inevitable progress through daily or week daily action on something specific that you can actually see, typing something out, working on your email campaign, working on your exercise, eating healthier, but specifically take action every day or week daily to make that happen, and that will give you inevitable progress. Now, here's the thing that comes up next. Oh no, but I'll make mistakes. Damn right you will make mistakes, and you should be grateful for them. So this is the other part, and that's to accept mistakes, because if you are working, especially at a level that is challenging for you, which you always should if you want to make maximum progress, do that, work at your maximum capacity, accept your mistakes with compassion or self-compassion. If somebody you really, really love, somebody you really, really care about, was trying to do the same thing as you, or more accurately, something you're already good at, and they're struggling to do it. They're really trying. They're not being lazy. They're actually trying, but they're doing it poorly. How would you treat them? Well, how you should treat them, and I think we all agree with this, is you should treat them with compassion. You should treat yourself the same way. So when you make dumb mistakes, like if you watched yesterday's episode, me heating Coca-Cola, Diet Coke in the microwave accidentally because of my ADHD, me throwing a whole chocolate bar in the garbage but fortunately being able to rescue it because of ADHD. For years, I beat myself up over the stupid things I did. It never did me any good. But instead, accepting my mistakes with self-compassion, then learning from them, and then kondoing them. And by kondo, I mean, the correct pronunciation is Marie Kondo. She sort of anglicized it for 𝗖𝗂𝘂𝘀𝗵 so that they can hear it better. But her name is Marie Kondo. Until someone, her, or one of my Japanese friends tells me otherwise, I know how to pronounce her name. It is not Marie. That's just to make it sound more Western. So using kondo as a verb, you take your mistakes, you kondo them. Give those mistakes, just like that junk that you haven't used in 6 months or a year, a big hug, say thank you to it, and let it go. Let it go with gratitude that what it gave you, what you learned from it, what joy it brought you. Your mistakes don't bring you joy, but they do bring you learning. Thank them for what you've learned from them, and then let them go. They are of no benefit to dwell on after you have learned what you're learning. Okay? And then all while you're doing these processes, strive for excellence. Striving for excellence is like striving for progress. Progress is inevitable if you take it in tiny little steps. If you take it, though, in steps that are sufficiently challenging to maximize your progress. This is why I think atomic habits is nonsense, because minimizing your progress to guarantee success is not the most efficient way to do it, nor is it the best way to do it for a long list of reasons I've already covered before in articles and probably will cover again in a video. So while you're going through this process of making daily or week daily progress on a real action that moves you forward on anything you're trying to do, beyond the visualization, which does nothing really except make you feel like you've done it, do meditation instead, and then get to action, doing what you want to do, doing what brings you closer to that dream destination. Do it with empathy for your mistakes, kondo your mistakes, thank you for the lesson, bye-bye, and then while you're doing this whole process, strive for excellence, to be the best at it that you can be at your current level, while understanding that perfection is a direction, not a destination. What do I mean by that? Well, perfection is like progress. Progress means to move forward, to improve at, to progress towards something. But perfection is a direction. If you are a perfectionist and you're using that as an excuse, which most people do, to avoid taking action, because action has feedback, which is either success or failure. So it's not ready, I can't start yet. Just start. Make something imperfect. Take imperfect action like these videos. They're far from perfect, but I'm striving to make them better. I am heading in the direction of perfection, knowing I can never achieve it, but by doing so, I can achieve progress and excellence. So this has been Crush It Club, episode 60, Progress, Not Perfection. My name is 𝗤𝗏𝗂𝘀𝗵. Bye for now.